Good evening, afternoon or morning. Movie Cat is at the microphone, and today I will tell you about a film that clearly demonstrates how harmful it is to know the future. For your attention, action fantasy from 2003, Paycheck.
If you show someone their future, they have no future.
And in order not to lose this channel, I recommend you to subscribe. Michael Jennings is a reverse engineering specialist. He thoroughly studies the operating principles of technical devices, and then he uses this knowledge to improve a product based on what has already been created. And finally, he sells the patent to competitors. After watching a presentation of a new 3D monitor that can show images in 3 dimensions, Michael buys it and understands how it works. After 4 weeks, he demonstrates the same quality 3D image, only without using a monitor. Michael receives a substantial fee, and then his memory of the last 4 weeks is erased, so that Michael cannot sell the created project to any other company, and also so that he does not tell someone the fact of plagiarism someone else's idea. Removing memory fragments is a painful process, and after it he needs to recover. His friend Shorty helps Michael get into shape after his next order. A friend is worried about Michael's condition and advises him to exercise more. At a party thrown by Alcom Corporation, Michael meets the charming Rachel, a biologist. The girl likes their intellectual dialogue, but she rejects Michael's offer to go to his place. Michael is invited to the office by the head of Alcom, James Retrick. He offers a very serious project for a very large fee, an 8-figure sum plus Alcom shares. However, the project requires Michael to give up 3 whole years of his life. After some thought, Michael is tempted by the opportunity to retire young, so he agrees. In addition, Michael is curious about what he has to work on, because he will only be able to find out when he is locked in the laboratory. Before work on the project begins, Alcom's head of security, Wolf, confiscates all of Michael's personal belongings. Michael is prohibited from leaving the laboratory, contacts with the outside world are limited, and all his correspondence is checked. Retrick introduces Michael to Dr. Decker, a colleague on the future project. Decker opens the case with the top secret project, and suddenly Michael is again sitting in Retrick's office, who congratulates Michael on finishing work on the project. 3 years of memory have been removed, and Michael is trying to come to his senses. However, everything went well. The company's shares soared, and Michael became rich by $92 million. At the bank, he wants to cash out some of the money and invest the rest. The manager shows the papers. 2 weeks before the end of work, Michael refused all the money and sent himself a package with 20 everyday things: a pack of cigarettes, glasses, a bus ticket, a ring, cookies and a key. An angry Michael does not understand. How can he refuse 92 million and instead put in a lighter, a paper clip, a box of matches, a coin, a piece of glass and iron balls? Claiming that this is a mistake and demanding that the data be double-checked, Michael finishes examining the envelope. There he finds a pass to Alcom, a crossword puzzle, a cartridge, a wristwatch and hairspray. At home, Michael is suddenly attacked by unknown assailants and kidnapped. Michael comes to his senses, surrounded by FBI officers. He is accused of high treason and the state betrayal because Michael worked on top secret weapons and used US secret materials. Agents report that Michael's colleague on the project, Decker, who was also an FBI agent, died under strange circumstances. All patents has Michael's signature, and the government is interested in what exactly did he create. Using a special device, detectives try to restore some of the engineer's memories, which brings Michael's brain temperature to the limit and almost kills him. The head of the investigations department suddenly calls a break after noticing good cigarettes among Michael's things. The agent lights a cigarette, forgetting about the fire alarm, and it instantly turns on, filling the room with smoke. Michael grabs the glasses from his bag of items, puts them on, and suddenly he can see clearly in the room. Unlike the agents, Alcom's security head, Wolf, is monitoring the FBI building. For some reason, he knows for sure that now Michael must die, and Wolf says goodbye to the engineer out loud, after which he is going to leave the observation point. To his surprise, the engineer runs out of the FBI building unharmed. Wolf cannot eliminate Michael because agents are running after him. At the turnstiles, Michael uses the one-day bus ticket from his envelope, and it works. Having disappeared, he gets on the bus and examines the ring among his things. Suddenly some teenager snatches the ring and runs out into the street. just opposite the bank where Michael was given the package. After checking with the manager that he definitely sent these 20 items to himself, Michael calls Shorty and makes an appointment. Michael tries to find out from his friend what did he create in the laboratory, but Shorty only knows that it is something related to optics. Michael comes across a note he found in the cookie with 7 numbers, and Michael sees the same numbers live TV on the lottery drawing. He understands that he has created something that helps him see the future, and all these 20 things from the envelope were not chosen by chance, but each of them is needed to solve a specific problem. And he refused the money for a reason to attract his own attention to the envelope with 20 things. Suddenly, Michael is attacked by Alcom security officials, and he is forced to run again. Michael uses a key to open the utility room, and then a paperclip to short-circuit the train's emergency brake. After examining the remaining items, Michael discovers the name of the cafe. He calls there and finds out that he has a table reserved for 2 persons. At the appointed time, Rachel comes to the cafe and for some reason very persistently tries to take the envelope from Michael, who suddenly notices that her eyes are the wrong color. At this moment, the real Rachel stuns her double with her bag, and together with Michael, they run away from the gunfire. In the parking lot, Michael shakes the keys out of the envelope. He knows any transportation is needed now more than ever. Pressing the keys, he hears the motorcycle unlock. Michael and Rachel ruse fast on this motorcycle, leaving the Alcom assassins and FBI agents behind. Meanwhile, Patrick decides to outwit Michael and look on his next steps in advance. To do this, the head of Alcom starts the machine when suddenly he sees an error on the screen. Experts say that one of thousands of microcircuits is blocked, and to find which one is it will take months of work. At the same time, FBI detectives are examining the list of things that allowed Michael to beat everyone, and agents realize that there is not possible to meet so many successful coincidences. Michael knew in advance what would happen and which things would help him, therefore the machine he built for Alcom could predict the future. The FBI decides to take possession of the machine at any cost for the benefit of the United States, and also to arrest Michael. Later, Rachel shows Michael photographs and videos of the 3 years they were together when worked in neighboring laboratories. He tries to remember at least something, but to no avail. Then Michael looks at the items from the envelope and realizes that there are 19 of them, but it was stated that there were 20. He carefully looks at the extra postage stamp and sees a white pixel in the center of Einstein's eye. Finding a university opposite their hideout, Michael examines the stamp through a microscope. He sees the newspaper headlines of the future. They talk about an unprecedented rise in prices for Alcom shares, about a preemptive strike on another state, and a possible nuclear war. Mike is confident that the device can produce self-fulfilling prophecies. For example, if a machine predicts war, then the US will launch a preemptive strike against the predicted enemy, thereby starting a war. The machine's actions will one way or another lead to the death of humanity. Among things, Michael finds a path to Alcom. He understands that he needs to go back and destroy the machine. Rachel and Michael arrive at the corporation checkpoint. They throw iron balls at the metal detectors and, creating panic, bypass the guards. Patrick sees this. He wants to lure Michael and let him fix the machine, and then kill him. Patrick removes all security so that Michael and Rachel can get inside without hindrance. In the room with the machine, Michael uses a coin to block the magnetic lock on the door. Michael understands that if he destroys the machine, he and Rachel will die here, so they need to fix the machine to see the future and understand how they can get out of Alcom. Trying to find the installed blocker among thousands of microcircuits, Michael remembers a crossword puzzle, which is actually a circuit diagram for one of the blocks. Michael removes the blocker and turns on the device to see the future one last time. The machine shows that Michael will be shot on the bridge in the laboratory. Then Michael uses the last item. He places the bullet in the right place and turns the machine into a bomb with a delayed timer. Patrick sees that the machine is already working, so he gives the order to kill both. At the same time, the FBI penetrates inside the complex to seize the machine. Bureau director gives the order to eliminate Michael, so the creator of the device does not tell anyone unnecessary things. After leaving the machine room, Michael and Rachel enter the laboratory. Rachel knows everything around very well, so they manage to neutralize several guards and kill a few more. Michael knows his death is imminent, so he pushes Rachel out of the lab, closes the door, and tells her to run. Suddenly, Redrick enters the laboratory. He also used the machine and knows that Michael will be shot on the bridge. Based on this knowledge, Redrick immobilizes Michael and takes him to the same bridge on a lift. Thus, another prophecy of the machine becomes self-fulfilling. While waiting for the shot, Michael sees the guards grab Rachel. At this moment, an FBI agent is aiming at Michael's back, and suddenly an alarm clock goes off on Michael's watch with the inscription, "Go." He and Rachel fall to the floor. The agent shoots and hits Redrick right in the heart. Michael once again changed the future because that device did not take into account the alarm clock, because Michael himself did not know about it. At this moment, the piston hits the bullet and it falls into the cooling nitrogen cylinder. The room explodes and the machine breaks into pieces. After examining the remains, the FBI believes that Michael and everyone involved were killed in the explosion. In the Shorty's greenhouse, Michael and Rachel are tending to the plants. Shorty wonders if a genius like Michael really didn't take care of his future. He brings a cage containing Rachel's beloved parrots, which he took care of in her absence. Realizing the girl would never part with these birds, Michael carefully examines the cage. Below, under the newspaper, he discovers a lottery ticket that matches all 7 numbers needed to win the jackpot, $90 million. Thank you for watching. How many years in front would you like to know your future? Write in the comments. Also, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already.